This next one, well, don't go check it out now. Check it out, but check it out though. So this next one is called "The Ass and the Mule." Okay, and this story is kind of on the same path as the last, but let's get into the mule and the ass, or the ass and the mule. A certain man who had an ass and a mule loaded them both up one day and set out upon a journey. So long as the road was fairly level, the ass got on very well. But by and by they came to a place among the hills where the road was very rough and steep, and the ass was at his last gasp. So he begged the mule to relieve him of a part of his load, but the mule refused. At last, from sheer weariness, the ass stumbled and fell down a steep place and was killed. The driver was in despair, but he did the best he could. He added the ass's load to the mule's, and he also flayed the ass and put his skin on the top of the double load. The mule could only just manage the extra weight, and as he staggered painfully along, he said to himself, "I've only got what I deserved. If I had been willing to help the ass at first, I should not now be carrying his load and his skin into the bargain." The moral of the story is, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Damn. Now, Ricky, you can get in the live, but you got to hear the story first. You just came in, came in and requested. Yeah. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, did you hear that? Did you hear? If you heard the story and you want to chop it up real quick for like 5-10 minutes before I get into the next one, we can do that. But if not, let's just wait till the next one, and I will be happy to go on live, or happy to bring you in the split screen jump. But yeah, so the ass and the mule. This is pretty self-explanatory too. This is, there's an ass, there's a mule, they're on the move with their master, and they're carrying something in the town. It's Aesop's Fables. Fable Fridays. I'm going into Aesop's Fables and just breaking down, different stories in there. So this one here is about, there's a donkey and a mule, because saying ass and a mule is just kind of funny. They're on the way to town with their master. They both have their, separate loads. But the ass's load is kind of heavy. So he's looking at the mule like, "Hey, bro, like, come on. Can you take some of this weight off my back?" And the mule is just like, "Nah." He said, "Nah, I'm good." So as they go up the hill more and more, the ass is getting tired, and he passes out, stumbles and passes out, and he falls and he dies. And now that the ass is dead, the master takes the load that was on the ass, puts it on top of the mule's load, and then flays the ass and throws the ass on top of the mule too. So not only does the mule have double the load to carry, the mule, Monty, what it do? You're back on social media, back on socials. But so the mule now has twice the weight to hold, and if he had just helped out the mule, if he had just helped out the ass prior to him dying from exhaustion, then he would not have yes, Quest. The ass is heavy. If he had just helped out the ass while he was alive, then not only would the ass have been alive, but he would not have to carry this such a large load by himself. So I just think it's an interesting story about just about doing your part and helping your fellow man. And going into the story before this one, just thinking about how it's about They would have saved them both, but he exactly. And that's even with the last story with the six stag is like folks came to the stag's side to quote unquote help, but ate up all the food for the six stag to even thrive afterwards. So it's just frustrating because once again it shows you what happens if you try to help but you don't help, or if you don't help and now you have to do more effort. So I mean, really, this story is about being proactive, right? It's about being proactive. It's about helping your fellow man. It's about not being selfish. I think in the same regard, though, even with the ass, on the ass's behalf, it's like I've seen interpretations where the ass had a notably higher load, larger load than the mule, right? So it wasn't like the mule was carrying 50-pound bricks. Like the mule was pretty much kind of chilling. Like he really had the room to help him. It wasn't like the mule was struggling as much as the ass, because the ass is more so, you know, the ass. Like, you know, we all know how it gets down, especially when it comes to the hierarchy of labor, when it comes to these animals, whether it's ass, oxen, mules. So the ass had a notably larger load, and the mule didn't have as large of a load. And it's like, yo, you could have took like a couple pounds off my man, bro. You could have took a couple pounds off him, but you just had to do it. You know, you just didn't care. And I also look at it like the ass too. Like you have to look and think and assess, like, before you ask somebody to take your load, make sure their load ain't too big either. Like the ass could look at the mule's load and say, bruh, you don't even have that much stuff to do. You don't have much to bring up the hill. Can you please take some of this shit off of my back? Nah. Period. And now, period, motherfucker. Now your ass carrying everything. And the ass. So, you know, I just say this to say be proactive and help your fellow man out. Any thoughts, questions, concerns? Because I'm going to move on to the next one, because the next one is interesting. And actually, let me drink some tea.